And we should be live on YouTube at this moment. So, yes, shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom as we come to you again with a live stream. Let me get this thing recorded. Yes, let me get this thing. So many things to do. Has to be pinned. All right. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom. This is Kazak Aliyahu Yasharal, along with my co-presenter, Shamuel Fabi. We are here starting a little bit earlier because, as we said in the notification that we sent out, because of power cuts and scheduled power cuts, we have to start earlier so that we can possibly finish before the danger zone. So today we'll be looking at the Shabbat. So many videos we've done, and we have not yet looked at how to keep the Shabbat day kadosh, how to keep it holy. And it is very, very, very important because this is one of the commands that the Most High gave us, and say if we profane it, then He will cut us off, etc., etc. So we're gonna look at the Shabbat and see what we can get out of it. And we're gonna start with not with the Sabbath of the people, but the Sabbath of the land. Yes, Sabbath of the land, because that is also very important. We're gonna begin with Leviticus 25, 1 to 13, the Sabbath of the land. Because when you look at the Sabbath of the land, it's gonna show us something very interesting that should come up. Leviticus 25, 1 to 13. Let me get this thing going. You ready, Shamuel?
Can you hear me?
Can you all hear Shamuel? Go again.
1, 2, can you hear me?
No.
Which is the second one?
1. It's very low. Yeah.
Okay, hearing you now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruits thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for Yahuwah. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
Continue.
That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vineyard, of thy vine, and rest, for it is a year of rest unto the land.
So just as how we are given a Shabbat, the land itself is given a Shabbat of rest. Okay? And when the land is resting, no planting, and the land must rest. Verse 26.
Verse 6.
6, yes. Sorry.
And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee.
So just as how when he presents the Sabbath to us, it is a Sabbath of provision, the Sabbath of rest for the land is also a Sabbath of provision for us. 7.
And for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat.
Continue.
Verse 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years. And the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpets sound throughout all your land.
All right. Continue.
And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family.
All right. So just one other state the Sabbath of the land, because we want to make an important point here. That, and the point is, as long as the children of Yasharal are in captivity, the land will be at rest. The land will not be utilized until the children of Yasharal are brought back from captivity. And that's what the word says. So the land that they currently call Israel is very, very tricky when it comes to scripture. Because according to the scripture, that should not be the land. The land should be desolate and at rest. It's not me, it's what the word says. And let's see. Let's go to Leviticus 26, starting at verse 27. It wasn't me.
And when I've broken off,
No, sorry, 27.
27.
Before I start, this was the Most High telling us about the curses. And he just gave us the curses, and then he was telling us what will happen if we will not hearken unto the curses. Go 27, please.
And if ye will not fall for all this, and if ye will not fall all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
Continue.
And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
So when we're under the curses, our cities are made waste, and the land is brought unto desolation. And I didn't even check the meaning of that word, desolation. Let's check the meaning of some words here. Desolation. A primitive root, to stun, grow numb, that is devastate, or figuratively stupefy, make amaze, be astonished, astonishment, be bring unto, lie, make desolate, desolation, places, be destitute, destroy, destroy self, lie, make, waste, wonder. So it's an utter destruction. That's what desolation means. And your cities shall be waste. And the waste there means properly drought, that is by implication a desolation. Decayed place, desolate place, desolation, destruction, laid waste. So that there is telling us that the land should be utterly brought to nothing, good for nothing. Verse 33.
Verse 32. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
The land shall be desolate and your cities waste. Then what will happen now in verse 34?
Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land, even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath.
You see that? As long as we are in captivity, in our enemy's land, the land will lie desolate and enjoy her Sabbaths. Now, 1948, they created this country called Israel. And the Bible tells you about those who say they are Jews and they are not. because these people do not match up to the curses any at all. Now, if these people created this land in 1948 and the land does not match the curses any at all, nor the prophecies, that the prophecies are that he's going to raise up the dry bones and he's going to return the whole house of Israel or the whole house of Yasharal into the land all at once. So it's going to be all 12 tribes at once. Now, these people created their place in 1948, and they say that they are Judah, and I think they say they are Levi as well. And we are the other tribes. That is not what the scripture says.
Yeah.
So these people do not match up with it any at all, and the land is supposed to be enjoying our Sabbaths until our people are brought back into the land. Yeah. Then the land will be restored. So, that country called Yasharal, question marks all over it. Verse 35.
As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths, when ye dwelt upon it.
So we're getting the picture. Our people did not obey the Shabbats when they were on it. So he said, all right, land is going to rest. But he promised us over and over again that he's going to bring us back. He is going to gather us back together again. And then that is when the time of rest will come to an end. That is why some people believe that it will be a jubilee that he will bring back his people on it. Because the jubilee is a day of atonement. Someone was asking me, could this year be the year of jubilee? We should make this Day of Atonement absolutely one of the most important dates in our modern history. Who knows? Yeah. Verse 36.
And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them. And they shall flee, as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth.
Continue.
And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. And ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up, and they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have a bit down.
Huh?
Come down a bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you're looking at this. Where were we?
40, I think.
And
Yeah,
they,
39. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Yitzhak, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land.
Stop. You see that? When we are in the land of our captivity, pining away, and we accept and turn back to him, that is the awakening. Then he will remember the land. Because the land will be desolate. He's not going to remember the land before and give these people that place. And he's going to go against Israel. If this 1948 Israel is really true, then he would have gone against his word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Verse 43.
The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgment, and because they are so abhorred my statutes.
So when the land is left of them, means they are not on the land. The land shall enjoy her Sabbaths. It's not going to be inhabited, not going to be built up, not going to be a city, not going to be a country operating like normal, like the rest of the countries in the earth. Okay? Yeah, we can't stop, leave off there. So we just want to make that point. For all the people who are convinced of this place they call Israel. So, more proof. Jerusalem itself will be desolate in the end time. Isaiah 49, 17 to 19. You have to make this point. Isaiah 49, 17 to 19. Because many of us think we know and assume we know based on what has been presented to us by these people who say they are Yasharal, not understanding that the world is a world of deception, and we only have to be looking to the Most High to show us the truth little by little. It's one big deception. We don't really know exactly where the land of Yasharal is. The names that they have given us, they have falsified the names. Some rivers are not what they say they are. Some place names are different. It's one big mess. All right? Verse 17 to 19, please. Are you there?
Yeah, I hear there's a feedback on the mics. I don't know if it's
On mine?
let me see.
Turn off those that are not using.
Oh yes. Mute all those mics. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just.
One.
Go ahead, Shamway.
All right. Yeah, I'm still there.
It's still here?
So those two mics are muted, right? Okay. All right. Thy children shall make haste. So this is Isaiah 49:17. Thy children shall make haste. Thy destroyers and they that made thee way shall go forth of thee.
All right. So this is the end time now. This is now. This is what is happening now. Thy children shall make haste, thy destroyers, and they that made thee haste shall go forth of thee. Continue.
Lift up thine eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together and come to thee. As I live, saith Yahuwah, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament, and bind them on thee, as a bride doeth.
These are the people now gathering themselves together and coming towards the land of the Most High. Verse 19 says,
For thy waste and thy desolate places, and the land of thy destruction, shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallow thee up shall be far away.
so when they are coming back to waste and desolate places. They're not coming back to a Jerusalem that is inhabited and a city in the place they call Middle East.
Yeah.
It will be a desolate place that they're coming back to. Ezekiel 38, 10 to 12. You have been told many lies in this world. Go ahead, please.
Thus saith Yahuwah Alua, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought.
So the background of this is Magog thinking of going against the children of Yasharal. Now this, I believe, is speaking of the end of the 1,000-year reign, but there's something that is actually said here that we think relates to what we are saying. Verse 11.
And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Because everywhere in South Africa has got bars and gates.
Except one place.
Ah. Go ahead.
To take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land.
All right, so they are referring to the land upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. So it's telling you that when the people come together, the place was desolate before, but it is now inhabited.
Yeah.
So it won't be inhabited before. I just want to repeat that in the minds of people. And upon the people that are gathered out of the nations. When the people are gathered unto the nations, they are gathered unto a desolate place. Yeshayahu 61:4. Because these questions are coming, and we're telling people that we have to just look and try to understand what the Most High is saying, that we cannot assume that we know because we live in a world of deception. And a lot of the things that we believe is true, they are actually lies. Where were we? What did I say? Isaiah 61:4.
This is interesting.
Go ahead. 4? Yeah.
And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations. And they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations.
All right. If you go before, this is speaking about the gospel, Isaiah 61. When they are returned, when the children of Yahshua are returned, they shall build the old waste. That means when they come into the place, it is not going to be inhabited. It is going to be desolate. Amos 9:11-12. Read, please.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
In that day, when it's time to return his people and to rise up back his people, that is when he's going to raise up back the tabernacle of David. Tabernacle of David refers to the kingdom at the time of David, which will be restored under Hamashiach. He says, and I will raise up his ruins. That means when they come there, it will be in ruins. And I will build it as in the days of old, which means when they go there, they're going to have to rebuild it. All right? Won't even need 12. Now, let's look at a verse that will actually, people will use to say, to try to counter what we are saying. Lucas 21:20 and 24. Luke 21:20 and 24. Shamu.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is near.
The desolation of Jerusalem is near. Verse 24.
But woe unto them that are with child.
No, 24.
24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
All right, this verse here, many people believe that this Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles is referring to the Gentiles in Jerusalem today. But this is actually referring to it will be trodden down and will be desolate, as Hamashiach had said, there shall no stone, not one stone be left on top of another. And Jerusalem was burnt and made desolate from back in those days, and it will not be restored until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. As we had been saying, that when it's time to go back into the kingdom, that is when the land will enjoy its Sabbath, and then the children of Israel will return, the remnant, the righteous remnant will return into the land. Okay? And what am I looking at now? Tread down. Tread down there. Let me look at the meaning. Jerusalem shall be trodden down there. It came up from a derivative probably of G3817, meaning a path to trample, literally or figuratively, tread down underfoot. So the trample does not mean that they'll be continuously there walking up and down in there. It means that they would have destroyed it, as Hamashiach had said. And we know in 70 AD, they trampled down Jerusalem. Didn't come up. They trampled down Jerusalem. And when the time of the Gentiles will be fulfilled, that is when they will, the nation will be restored back and they will build back the desolate places. Okay? And by the way, you have to put in this one. Edom will try to rebuild the desolate places. Now, we have been teaching that those people in there, and we have showed that these people, their science has shown that these people who are in that land, that they are actually related to Edom. And in Malachi 1, verse 4 to 5, it tells us what Edom will be trying to do. Go ahead, please.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah hath indignation forever.
So if they come and try to rebuild the place called Israel, Most High said he would tear it down. Think about that. They shall build, but I will throw down. Because in verse 5 says,
and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the border of Yasharal. So they'll be trying to rebuild the land of Yasharal again.
And the Most High is going to tear it down.
Yeah, frustrate them, yeah.
So, if that land is the land of Yasharal, why wasn't it torn down?
Yeah, why is it built? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, let's leave the land. Let's try to put some thoughts in our minds about what these people are doing. So many people are judging based on what those people say and the standards that they have set. All right? By the way, where's Loy? She's here? Oh, hiding. Yeah. So we'll move from the land now to the people, the Sabbath of the people. And we'll go to the Sabbath command. Shemot 20, verse 8 to 11. We are going to go now into the Sabbath of the people. And we're going to look at the Sabbath command to see what it entails. Verse 8.
All right. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it kadosh.
All right, this is very important. This is very important. Many of us remember the Sabbath day, but we forget to keep it kadosh. I think this may be kodesh. Yeah, let me see. Yes, kadash. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it kadash. Verse 9.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Alua. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Everyone in the house, no matter who, must keep the Shabbat. And it says you must not do any work. You must keep it Kadash or holy, not do any work. And continue.
For in 6 days Yahuwah made Shamayim and Aretz, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
So because the Most High made the heaven and earth in 7 days, he said, okay, you are also going to follow me. Yes? So if we are his sons, we are going to follow our Father. So just want to lay those things down. No work, set apart, and resting. All right. So, where am I?
11.
No. Oh, I'm at the wrong place. Why did I end up here? I'm at the wrong place. Exodus 31. Sorry about that. 12 to 18. Yeah, read that, please.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Yasharal, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh that doth sanctify you.
All right, so this is the Sabbath now as a sign. Now, the sign here, let me get the meaning of the word. Sign. Let me see if I can get it on the screen. Let me get it on the screen. Sign. It's from the Hebrew word oth, probably from H22:5 to 25 in the sense of appearing, a signal, literally or figuratively, as a flag, beacon, monument, omen, prodigy, evidence, etc. Mark, miracle, ensign, token. So the most relevant here, it is evidence. It is a mark. It is a token. So if you don't keep the Sabbath, you don't have the evidence that you belong to the Most High. You don't have the mark that you belong to the Most High. There's no token to show that you belong to the Most High. So those people who are in churchianity, who continue to hold on to Sunday, they have committed spiritual suicide. That's it. The Sabbath was given as a sign, and we reject and refuse the sign. That means we do not belong to the Most High. That ye may know that I am Yahuwah that doth sanctify you. Verse 14.
Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is kadosh unto you. Every one that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
Now, when I read this book and you see all of these things in it, how can you not want to keep the Sabbath? It says, it is set apart unto you. Everyone that defileth it. And the defile there, let's go to the word meaning again. That defile there, not an easy word. H2490. Everyone that defileth it is halal. Properly to bore, that is by implication to wound, to dissolve, figuratively to profane a person, place, or thing, to break one's word. To begin as by opening a wedge, denominatively to play the flute, begin, defile, break. So everyone who breaks it, or pollutes it, or profanes it, or stains it, what did he say will happen to them? Shall be cut off from among his people. No, shall be put to death. Yeah?
Shall surely.
Surely be put to death. Oh boy. Anyway, verse 15.
6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yahuwah. Whosoever does any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
Two successive verses. And we have people discarding the entire day, opting for another day, and rebuking us for keeping this day. Anyway, verse 16.
Wherefore the children of Yasharal shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant.
For a perpetual. What does perpetual mean?
Everlasting, continuous.
Yeah. Continuous, eternity, continuance, everlasting. So the children of Yasharal shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Shabbat throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. So there's no end of days. And he said it again here, 17.
It is a sign between me and the children of Yasharal forever.
So as long as you're an Israelite, this is yours. And then we know one law shall be to you, the Israelites, and for the stranger that sojourneth among you. Yasharal, strangers, this is the law of the Shabbat. Do 17.
And it is a sign between me and the children of Yasharal forever. For in 6 days Yahuwah made Shemaim and Aritz, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moshe, when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of Elohim.
So if it is written with the finger of the Most High, how can we, what right have we to negate it? None whatsoever. No, what we want to look at now, because we said how to keep the Shabbat holy or set apart, we are going to look at the word kadosh. Leviticus 11:45. Go ahead, please.
All right. For I am Yahuwah that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your Alwa. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am Kadosh.
Ye shall be kadosh, for I am kadosh. So we're going to look more into this meaning of kadosh to see exactly what is required of us in keeping the Shabbat. And this is matched in Matityahu 5:48, which tells us a similar story using a different word. And he said,
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in Shemayin is perfect.
be ye kadosh, be holy, be perfect. And the perfect there, let's look at the meaning of it. Come on. Perfect. It's from the Greek word teleos. It means complete in various applications of labor, growth, mental and moral character. Neuter as known with G3588, completeness of full age, man, perfect. So the Father is saying you have to be mature, be perfect, be complete, even as I am complete. And a lot of us as believers, we have been fooled by religion, which makes us believe that we can present ourselves mediocre before the Most High. We don't have to be perfect. That's what Christianity teaches us, isn't it? We all have to sin. We cannot be perfect. What else again? Every man has sinned and fallen short.
Yeah.
There's no man righteous, no, not one. But the Most High is telling us here that we must be perfect.
Yeah.
We must be complete. We must be a full age. So what this denotes, we must be men. What this denotes is that we must grow. At all times, we must be growing. And the Apostle Shaul had spoke about it and said, unto the full stature of Hamashiach. And so we, as believers, now have to be striving to be like Hamashiach. That is the completeness, that is the fullness that we strive for.
Yeah.
We do not sit and say, okay, it's okay, the Most High will accept this, or we don't have to do this or do that.
Yeah.
No, It's a striving. Let me get that verse, unto the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, because that verse is very important for us at this point, particular point in time. Anybody know where that verse is? And I think I got it. Ephesians 4. No. Verse 11. Go ahead, Ak.
And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers.
All right. So he has furnished us with people who can perfect us. He has furnished us with people who can help us to become mature. So these apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers were given for, verse 12,
For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach.
for the perfecting of the saints. Be ye perfect, be ye kadosh, be holy. These were given for us to be perfect. They were not given for us to sit in religion and to remain as we are. They are given to perfect us. And you know, when you're perfecting something, it takes time to perfect it. You build it, and then you smooth it out, and then you might have to take out a little piece and put in another piece. And yeah? But it is a process that continues. And it's a process that continues unto perfection. So it brings you to a higher level at each time. That's why the Apostle Shaul said in Philippians 3 about pressing towards the mark of the high calling, forgetting everything that is behind. I press towards the mark of the high calling. So the high calling is rising each time as we go. Keep moving from Eminah to Eminah. So for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, until, verse 13,
till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Alua, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We non-stop keep pushing to be like Hamashiach. And we will not be perfect unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness. We will not be perfect. And the Most High said, we must be perfect. Hamashiach said, we must be perfect. But we will not be perfect until we measure up to Hamashiach. Can you imagine? You see how hard it is to be perfect?
So it's an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing process.
Continuous. Yeah.
Sandpaper. Rubbing us off. Yeah?
If you do not faint.
Pardon?
I'm saying the word says if you do not faint, you will reap.
Yeah. And here's the result. Here's what it brings us to. Verse 14.
That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
So because we have been made perfect, brought unto a perfect man, we are no more children. We have matured. We have grown. All right? Verse 15.
All right. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach.
There's our target again. That's our target again. All right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the importance of being perfect. 1 Corinthians 2, 6 to 8. All of this has to do with the Shabbat. Because the Shabbat is a mark of perfection, and keeping the Shabbat is a hallmark of perfection. Keeping it the right way is a hallmark, is a standard of perfection. 1 Corinthians 2, 6 to 8, please.
Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught.
All right, so hear this. We speak wisdom among them that are perfect. True wisdom from the Most High is only given among those who are perfect. You see how hard it is?
Yeah.
for us to get deep wisdom, we have to be striving to measure up to the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. And in so doing, that is how we will get to understand the mysteries of Yahuwah and his deeper wisdom. Verse 7.
But we speak the wisdom of Alua in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Alua ordained before the world unto glory,
And
unto
we
our
know
glory.
that not everyone can access this wisdom at all. Verse 8.
Which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Master of glory.
All right. So this wisdom is not a worldly wisdom. It's spiritual wisdom that is given unto those who are perfect. 1 Corinthians 14:20. Talking about perfection. Go ahead, please.
Brethren, be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men.
This is the importance of being perfect. All right? It says, in malice be children.
Yeah.
I mean, no, children don't keep malice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in your understanding, you have to be men, which means you have to be mature, which means you have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And Matthew 19:21-23. All right. Another measure of perfection. Denying self. Read, please.
Yahusha said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in Shamaim, and come and follow me.
All right, there it is now, with perfection. We cannot be perfect unless we have denied self. Impossible. So this young person who had a lot of money, Hamashiach knew what it took to make him perfect. Because each and every one of us has stumbling blocks.
Yeah.
Every one of us has stumbling blocks. And we have to be honest with ourselves and know our stumbling blocks. If we are honest with ourselves and know our stumbling blocks, then we can get over it. But Hamashiach was pointing out to him his stumbling block. And he said, sell all that you have and give to the poor. That is what he wanted to be perfect. Because being perfect is essential to eternal life. Because the young ruler did not ask what it takes to be perfect. What did he ask, Samuel? He asked, what can he do?
To inherit, to be a follower, to inherit the kingdom.
Wait.
Yeah.
Where is it again?
Down, right? In verse 16. Start from 16.
Yes. Verse 16. Read 16.
And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
That's it. He asked for eternal life. Hamashiach said, if you will be perfect. That means if you're not perfect, you cannot have eternal life.
Yeah.
I want us to look into this. And how can we said can be perfect? We have to measure up to the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach.
Yeah.
So if we do not measure up to Hamashiach, there is no eternal life for us. We're telling people that this is not a what? This is not a religion. It is a giving up of self, totally a sacrifice of self. I'm done. Me, done. I'm going after Hamashiach.
Yeah. And also to understand that what Hamashiach was saying to him wasn't something that was strange to Hamashiach himself because he was poor. All right. He was living it. He had made himself low for the sake of this work. So he wasn't requesting this man here to do something that he himself wasn't found doing, wasn't. And that reminds me of a question that was asked during the tabernacles with regards to Yahusha sleeping outside. Now you can see here, if he's telling somebody to go sell all that they have. Now what makes you think that Yahusha would have been accumulating everything for himself when he's telling others to give up on everything?
Yeah.
And if the word says, obviously to look unto him as our example, then clearly everything that he did, we also ought ourselves to also do, to walk even as he walked. But something interesting I'm noticing here is that it says, look at the question the young man asked him, verse 16. There's an interesting question. He came with an intention. There was something in his mind.
Yeah.
He says, what good thing? Specific.
Singular.
Yeah.
One thing he wanted to do.
Which is always our disposition.
Yes.
Maybe if I can do good for Yahuwah, maybe I might qualify into the kingdom.
Yeah.
But this is a lifestyle. This is how it's supposed to be. It's not something that you need to premeditate, you need to think about. It's who you are. It's how you live. All right? Obeying all the statutes, the commandments, and doing the judgments of Yah. So there's no way you can single out by one thing, one good deed. And that's what Yahusha was bringing and making clear to him.
Yep. But the one thing that Yahusha told him to do summarized everything.
Everything, yes.
Oh, come on. What am I? Anyway, I don't think I'll lead this. Let me see. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yes. Verse 22.
But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions.
Verse 23 said,
Then Yahusha unto his disciples, then said Yahusha unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of Shamayim.
all right, so we're looking to perfection. Seeing the importance of perfection today. We're dealing with the Shabbat, but we're dealing with perfection because the Shabbat is also a part of perfection. If we mar the Shabbat, then we cannot be in perfection. Philippians 3:13-21 says, talking about perfection. Yes?
Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Continue.
I press towards the mark of the prize. I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of Alua in Hamashiach Yahusha.
That's what we're saying about perfection. You have to attain unto the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. Pressing forward, forgetting those things which are behind. So our lifestyle has to be one where there's no existing us at any time. There's no static us.
Yeah.
We are not stagnant. We are not defined by self.
Yeah.
We are dynamic, which means we are moving, we are changing. And each time we change, we forget that person in the past. So each time when you have the pastors, the teachers, the apostles, the evangelists, whoever the Most High put together to edify us and our fellow brothers and sisters, whenever we hear something, we have to make our changes and then forget those things of the past. Pressing towards the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, because without that, we don't have eternal life. We are just in religion. Continue.
Brethren, I count, which one is it? 13 or 4.
15.
Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, Allah shall reveal even this unto you.
So, those of us who are perfect, this is for us. Yeah? As many as be perfect, be thus minded. This is how you should think. Forgetting those things behind, pressing towards the mark. Has to be a dynamic person. Verse 16.
Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing.
That's the importance of the unity of the rock, being in one accord. So, where we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule and have the same mind in all things. And so Shaul said in verse 17,
Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have, as for an example.
So he's actually telling us that we should use each other as example, use the leaders as example, and use those who are walking in the way, in the right way as example. Because there are others who walk contrary to the way. Verse 18.
For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the stake of Hamashiach, whose end is destruction, whose allure is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things.
See that? The contrast to those who are walking in this way are those who mind earthly things. So, if we have not gotten rid of self, we are going to be enemies of the stake of Hamashiach, because we are going to be minding earthly things. And it's in verse 20, he shows us now that we should not be like that. Verse 20.
Who, for our conversation is in Shamayim, whence also we look for the Savior, the Master Yahusha Hamashiach.
So our conversation is not on this earth at all. It is in Shamayim. And in Shamayim, it is our hope of the kingdom that is to come. And that is our focus, rejecting this and focusing on the hope that is to come. And this hope is this resurrection of the dead, or the changing of our bodies into spiritual bodies so we can enter the kingdom, as it says in verse 21.
Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto the glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself.
Okay. And we continue on this perfect, because it's important that we get it. Colossians 1:28. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That has to be our striving. If we're not striving for perfection, we're going to be in religion. Let's go into the paces, and we'll no doubt fail in the end. Read, please.
Whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahusha.
That's the importance. Warning every man. Yes? We preach warning and teaching in all wisdom, for the sole purpose that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahusha. That is our task.
Yeah.
That is our task, each and every one of us, among each other, to help each other to be presented perfect in Hamashiach Yahusha. Verse 29.
Whereunto I also labor, striving according to his working, which worketh in me mightily.
All right. So, that is the perfection. And that perfection now must make us keep the Sabbath day holy. We cannot keep the Shabbat day holy if we are not holy. We cannot keep it kadosh unless we are kadosh. Many of us strive to keep it in perfection. I remember when I used to be down there in Stonebrook in Jamaica, and I always noticed, I said, the Shabbat is a measure of perfection. And every week I say, I'm going to do it perfectly. Every week something else came up. Every week I couldn't get it perfect. Always something coming up. So, for example, I say, I want to get everything ready by a certain time. Get everything ready, and by the time comes, still things to be done. And I say, you know what? I get this. The Sabbath is the mark of perfection. When you can get the Sabbath perfect, then you will be perfect. I'm telling you. When you can get it perfect, then eventually I get one and 2 days in time, right? 1 and 2. But you get this 1 week right, and by the next week it's gone again.
Yeah.
And you see, it's very important. I'm telling you, It's a mark of perfection. When we get the Sabbath right,
Yeah.
our lives can be right before the Most High. Yeah, the discipline that is required will work out in your, yeah. All right, so Shemot 16:21-30, as George spoke about discipline, this has to do with discipline as well. Shemot 16:21-30. Read, please.
And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted.
So we're speaking about manna. Go ahead, please.
And it came to pass that on the sixth day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe.
All right. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread. So all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Why did they come and tell Moses? Sounds like they were informers, weren't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And said to Moses, hey, they are gathering twice as much.
Reported, yeah.
Yeah, but Moses said, verse 23.
And he said unto them, This is that which Yahuwah had said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahuwah. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seeth that ye will seeth, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning.
All right, so this is one. There are some people who say, use this verse to say that you can cook on the Sabbath. This is error. It appears to sound so. But what it is actually saying, bake that which you will bake today, and seed that you will seed, and that which remaineth overlay up for you until the morning. It's saying, prepare food for 2 days. It's not saying that you should leave the raw manna till the next day to prepare it. Prepare food for 2 days, and eat what you will eat today, and the rest that remains, leave it up for the Sabbath. Because it says, verse 24,
And they laid it up till the morning, and Moses baked, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein.
all right, here's the verse that tells you that what I just said is true, that it's prepared for 2 days. Read verse 25.
And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto Yahuwah. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
So he did not tell them to cook it today. Eat that which you lay up from the day before. Verse 26.
6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none.
So just as it is today, Most High gives us provision for 2 days. Prepare everything from the day before, and then on the 7th day, you partake, you feast on the 7th day. Continue.
And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yahuwah hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
So the people rested on the 7th day. So this is another thing, the importance of the 7th day again. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. And we're going to look at the implications of that to do with traveling and movement on the Sabbath day. Now, there is a very important account in the book of Jubilees that tells us about the Shabbat. Very interesting. I would think we got to look through the creation, because we should get some insights here about creation from this account. Let's go to the book of Yobelim, the book of Joshua. Let me read, please. Jubilees, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Moshe is given the complete history from creation.
All right, let me get this camera going, please. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
And the Malak of the presence spoke to Moshe according to the word of Yahuwah, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days Yahuwah Almighty finished all his works and all that he created, and kept Shabbat on the 7th day, and hallowed it for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. For on the first day he created the heavens which are above, and the earth, and the waters, and all the spirits serve before him.
All right. The reason I say we go through this, Jubilees contains a lot of details that are not in the Bible, and they are very interesting details as well. So the Bible did not tell us that all the Ruach which served before him were created on the first day. So the angels of the presence, they were created on the first day. Read 2 again, please.
For on the first day he created the Shamains, which are above, and the earth, and the waters, and all the rocks which serve before him, the Malachim of the presence, and the Malachim of sanctification, and the Malachim of the spirit of fire, and the Malachim of the spirit of the winds, and the Malachim of the spirits of the clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of hoar frost, and the Malachim of the voices of the thunder and of the lightning, and the Malachim of the spirits of cold and of heat, and of winter and of spring and of autumn, and of the spirits of cold and of heat, of summer, and of all spirits of his creatures which are in the Shamains, and on the summer,
And on the earth.
and on the earth. He created the abysses and the darkness, eventide and night, and the earth he created, and the light, dawn and day, which he has prepared in the knowledge of his heart.
All right, so all of this is not in the Bible. All of these. So Malachim there refers to angels for those who don't know. Continue. Verse 3.
Scroll down or scroll
Oh,
up.
sorry. You realize. And thereupon,
And thereupon we saw his works, and praised him, and lauded before him on account of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. And on the second day he created the firmament in the midst of the waters, and the waters were divided on that day. Half of them went up above, and half of them went down below the firmament that was in the midst over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work Yahuwah created on the second day.
all right, waters above, waters below, the sky in the middle. Flat earth. Continue, please.
And on the third day he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the whole earth into one place, and the dry land to appear, and the waters did so as he commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth into one place outside his firmament, and the dry land appeared.
Continue.
And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separate gathering places, and all the rivers, and the gatherings of the waters in the mountains and on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all sprouting things, and the fruit-bearing trees, and the trees of wood, and the garden of Eden, in Eden and all. These 4 great works Yahuwah created on the third day.
So the Most High was creating everything for man before man came, preparing the way for mankind. Verse 8.
And on the 4th day he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the firmament of the Shamayin, to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from the darkness.
So he set the sun and the moon in the firmament. And it says earlier that the firmament, waters above, waters below, and the firmament. So if the sun and the moon are in the firmament, how can they be 93 million miles away? Yeah?
Yeah.
Above, water below, sun and moon in here. Another of those lies. And continue, please.
And Yahuwah appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Sabbaths, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Shabbats, of years, and for jubilees, and for all seasons of the years.
You hear this? You appointed the sun for days and for months. You see the difference? Lunar calendar.
Yeah.
It's saying that the sun is for months.
Yeah.
So the sun on the earth for days and for Shabbats. So, remember, you have Christians who tell us that the Sabbath is for the children of Israel. Sabbath is Old Testament.
There you go.
The sun was created for Sabbath.
From the beginning of creation.
Before man came on the earth.
Yeah. It was there for this purpose.
Yeah. And not only for Shabbats, for feasts.
Yeah.
So they tell the same thing again. Okay, we'll keep the Shabbat, but the feasts are for Israel.
Yeah.
Old Testament are for the Jews.
Yeah.
The sun was created for feasts. And for Shabbats of years, that means the Jubilee years and the 7 years Sabbath. Every 7th year, the Sabbath, the land rests. And for Jubilees and for all the seasons of the years. Continue. You saying?
No. I'm just looking at the details, because no wonder in Ecclesiastes, I think 12:13 says, this is the whole duty of man. You see there? The whole duty of who? Man. Who's man in Hebrew?
Adam.
Adama. From the soil, isn't it? So tell me, the one listening and arguing about this, are you Adam? Were you made from the dust? If you were, then look at this. There's no more excuses. All right? You have to do the right thing, because as long as you have air coming out of your nostrils, as long as you perspire, this is for you. The Sabbaths and all these feasts that the Yahuwah, the creator of everything, has appointed unto his creation. You also ought, unless you're telling me that you are not part of his creation, I mean, then that's a different and separate discussion. But for all those who believe that there is a creator and then that he fashioned everything, this is what the word is saying to you. That these Sabbaths are not for a specific group only, but it's for his entire what? Creation. Even the birds, the animals, all honor what? All honor these days that he has set apart. Yeah.
10.
And it divides the light from the darkness and from prosperity, that all things may prosper, which shoot and grow on the earth. These 3 kinds he made on the 4th day. And on the 5th day, he created great sea monsters in the depths of the waters. For these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish and everything that moves in the waters, and everything that flies, the birds and all their kind.
So before you go any further, next verse is going to tell you that the sun rose upon them to prosper them. This is why the calendar begins on the 5th day. Because on the 4th day, they were made. Read verse 12, Shamuel.
And the sun rose above them to prosper them, and above everything that was on the earth, everything that shoots out of the earth, and all fruits-bearing trees, and all flesh. These 3 kinds he created on the 5th day.
So he created the sun and the moon for time. So the very first day after it was created, it rose.
Yeah.
First day, which is the 5th day. So the calendar always begins on the 5th day. Go ahead.
All right. And on the 6th day, he created all animals of the earth, and all cattle, and everything that moves on the earth. And after all this, he created man. A man and a woman created he them, and gave him dominion over all that is upon the earth, and in the seas, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth. And over all this, he gave him dominion.
All right, so after all this, he created man. That man there is Adam. Meaning of that Adam there is mankind. Okay? He created man. A lot of misunderstanding about this word Adam and man. So when it says he created man, we are just thinking of one particular single man.
Yeah.
It says he created man. A man and a woman created he them. The word Adam in Hebrew also means mankind. So he created mankind and he created a man and a woman. Created the man first and then the woman after. Verse 15. We're getting more into the Sabbath now. Verse 15.
And these 4 kinds he created on the 6th day. And there were altogether 22 kinds. And he finished all his work on the 6th day. All that is in the Shamaim and on the Arets, and in the seas and in the abysses, and in the light and in the darkness and in everything. And he gave us a great sign, the Shabbat day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Shabbat on the 7th day from all work.
So who is this we that is speaking? It's the angel of the presence. These are the angels that are speaking. So the angels keep the Shabbat.
Yeah.
As well. That's how important the Shabbat day is. Continue.
And let your will be done on earth as it is in the Shamaim. And where are we? 17?
18.
18, okay. And all the Malachim of the presence, and all the Malachim of sanctification, these 2 great classes, he has bidden us to keep the Shabbat with him in Shamaim and on the Aret. And he said to us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all peoples, and these shall keep the Shabbat, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them as I have sanctified.
The Shabbat day.
You can scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
And I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them as I have sanctified the Shabbat. As I've sanctified
the Shabbat day.
The Shabbat day, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their sovereign ruler.
You see how honored these people are.
Yeah.
Equal to the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
Equal in importance.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. And I've chosen the seed of Yaakov from amongst all that I have sinned, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. That's how long it is. It doesn't end.
Yep.
And I will teach them the Shabbat day, that they may keep Shabbat thereon from all work.
One family he has called to keep the Shabbat. Yes, but of course, one law shall be to you, and the stranger that shall join among you. The Shabbat is for us, the children of Yasharal, to guard, not to profane it, to guard it, because it is ours. 21.
And thus he created them therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Shabbat with us on the 7th day, to eat, to drink, and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should keep Shabbat together with us.
Look at this verse. A sign. So the Sabbath is for us. We have to look at it to keep it holy, or kadosh. No work. To rest. What else again? No, we have to eat and to drink and to barak the Most High. And yeah, I got about 6 different things here. So we get a greater understanding of the Shabbat. And it says he has sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, a unique people above every other people upon the face of the earth. That is why we keep telling people, we are not equal people. We are not equal. There is a people to the Most High who is special above all other people. It is what it is.
It's very interesting. I don't see people who honor education over the word of the Most High being able to honor him in any way. It's impossible. Why? Because education is set up to oppose the Most High and his will. All right. Now this shows you that one could be useless, or one is useless and the other is not. So if you choose education, then you go all out with education. But if you choose the word, then you also ought to go all out with the word. The two cannot go hand in hand. It's a lie. All right? You must choose which master to serve. And that's why many of us became unbelievers. Unbelievers in the sense that we were indoctrinated in school to say what? The earth is what? The earth is a sphere. All right? And now the word is telling you that the earth is flat. Now, which do you believe? There you are. So saying that I was born a Christian my whole life, what purpose does it really mean? It really doesn't serve. It's not about what you were born as. It's about obedience. You can see it here. You have to do what you believe is what you do. So you realize that in the end of all this, if we are right, then all the knowledge you've accumulated in school is going to lead you to hell. All right? I'm not beating about the bush. And if you are right, guess what? You tend to benefit of everything that is here on the earth and still lose your soul either way. So you have to think carefully about this one in who you take your education from. Because the purpose why all these things were written down was because of what? Because of the lies that one of these days and this times that we live in would be perpetuated. Hence Yahuwah chose for himself a people in which he gave this statute so they can preserve it. So that when the wicked have perverted everything, guess what? We look back to this house and we find these customs, these cultural and Yahweh's way of thinking and all his ways amongst this people. That's why the people are very important. Because without them, guess what? Everything would have been profaned. We would have all been lost. So this is the Most High's wisdom. Now that we see and hear this gives you detail. Science will never give you this detail. Science can never tell you how the sun was created, the moon was created. A big bang cannot create so much order on this earth. The seas cannot be parted in one ways and would not override the land. It's impossible. Big bangs, sometimes we have to apply a bit of rationale, right? Don't throw away that discernment that the Most High has given to all of you. You have to apply your thinking and you have to trust the word. So it's there. Everything about science coincides with the Most High. Because almost like science is fighting this to disprove that there is a creator. Why? Because if we all got to know there was a creator, guess what? The next question will be then, does he expect anything of us? And if he expects something of us, then we know that then it's now up to us to try and do what? To align ourselves to what he intends for why he's made everything. So because the wicked rulers of this world do not want to accustom or align themselves to the will of this creator, guess what they do? They now remove him and make everything mysterious, coincidental, the educators, to stand with them in their rebellion. So we have to be very careful. We have to be. Shalom.
Yep. 23.
There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and Kodesh, and the former also is blessed and Kodesh. And this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing.
Oh, I missed out one. I missed out one here.
Oh,
Who kept the Sabbath?
yeah.
Yahuwah kept the Sabbath. The angels of the presence and the angels of sanctification kept the Sabbath. And now the Sabbath is given to Yasharah.
This is wicked. This is heavy.
Yeah.
Yahuwah himself is keeping the Shabbat. What are you doing? The Creator himself has set his word above what? Lord, is it his name above his word or his word above his name? So that he will not go against his word, his own word.
Yeah.
So if he says, I've hallowed the Shabbat, sanctified it, and everyone that is mine will be sanctified also if they observe this.
Yes.
I mean, this is no more rebellion. This is this is something else. Now you're challenging yeah, this is heretic. Literally.
Heretic.
I mean, this is what makes religion very dangerous. This is heresy. It's dangerous because the Creator who says, when I speak, no one speaks. When I shut, no man can open. Says that I've hallowed this Sabbath day to be a holy day, and here comes ordinary men who say he's a liar. We've grown in our rebellion. It's now part rebellion. Right now, I think demonic is not even it doesn't even do justice to it. So Yahweh keeps it. The Malachims also keep it, and those who are his would also do what?
Keep it.
Will also keep it.
22.
And he causes commands.
No. We were at
24.
24.
And to this Jacob and his seed, that is Yasharal, it was granted that they should always be Barak and Kadosh ones of the first testimony and Torah, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Shabbat day on the seventh day.
What an honor. And our people are just joking around with this honor. That's why when we go to the Most High, a lot of us are going to get a big whipping. This is an exalted honor above all other nations on the earth. And our people, stiff-necked people, take it.
You go that way, I'm going to go this
for
way.
nothing.
Close the door.
No wonder they had to beat the children of Yasharal down to nothingness.
Yeah.
Because they have to think themselves as nothing. In order for this lie, this deception to work all around the earth. Because if these people that are supposed to be guarding Torah believe now they are useless, guess how they are going to live? Useless. And everything that is supposed to be honorable, they are going to do what? They are going to turn into what? Into damnable, abominable things. And that's what they are doing. This is why in these times, many of them are struggling to even heed the very simple call. Because why? They've trampled down on the Torah. So what other word again can come from Yah that will really move people? This is why. So they had to be brought low, so low that it can only take the mercy of Yah. Can anyone hear me?
It should be. They would have said.
I'm hearing someone say my mic is muted. Unless they're looking. Oh,
No. Someone else was speaking.
It's not working.
I told Jamal to mute his mic.
Oh, okay.
You ready? 25.
25. He created Shamayim and earth and everything that he created in 6 days.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And Yahweh made the 7th day Kadosh for all his works. Therefore, he commanded on its behalf that whoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die.
So that honor comes at a serious cost. Death. So the honor of being Jacob and being able to keep it, it says death there is for it. Verse 26.
So it's a death sentence,
Yeah.
not keeping Shabbat.
Yeah. Not only that, keeping Sabbath, whoever does any work thereon, and he who defiles it. That's really serious.
It's twice because it repeats it.
Yeah.
It says, whoever does any work thereon shall die. Isn't what he had said to Adam?
Yeah.
You will die. Not only die, you shall surely die. So, and thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall also what?
Surely die.
So there's a defiling, and there's a not keeping it. There's two things that is going on.
Yep.
So the one that works and the one that defiles it.
Yeah.
Wherefore do you command the children of Yasharal or Yisrael to observe this day, that they may keep it Kodesh, and not do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is more Kodesh than all other days. And whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. Not only die physically, but eternally. We have not known this.
Mercy.
We have mercy. All right, this is mercy. This is and whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does and this is scary.
Oh boy.
And whoever profanes it shall surely die. And whoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. That the children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a Kodesh day and a blessed day.
That day is so special to the Most High.
Marat.
Destruction for us who profane it, who dishonor it. You see how many times it says shall die and
It's
die eternally?
the whole process, the whole passage is just die. Like I've never seen dying so much in one passage. Everywhere you look is that. You've got to be an unbeliever to not take this serious, honestly.
And you see why Satan keeps these books away from us?
To keep us lukewarm or probably not ever warm at all.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, because with these other books come understanding, and a great understanding, not just any understanding, but a greater understanding.
Yep.
And whoever profanes it shall surely die. Okay, no, we passed that. 28. And everyone who deserves it. Sorry. Now we will continue and deserves to die.
Yeah.
And everyone who observes it and keeps Shabbat thereon from all his work will be Kodesh and blessed throughout all days like unto us. Declare and say to the children of Israel. No wonder people say it's for the children of Israel.
Yeah.
Declare and say to the children of Israel, the Torah of this day, both that they should keep Shabbat thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work thereon, which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure. Underline there. To do thereon their own pleasure. And that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk. And that it is not lawful to draw water. Or bring in or take out thereon through their gates any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day. For that day is more Kodesh and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Shabbat in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh to keep Shabbat thereon on the earth.
So you see why earlier we looked at being perfect? The only way you can truly keep Shabbat is when you're perfect. You see, George? You have to be in perfection to be able to keep Shabbat. So many of us are keeping Shabbat and we don't understand the depths and the implications of what we are doing, or what it really means to actually keep the Shabbat. It says, don't forsake it in the error of your hearts.
Yeah.
And it is not lawful to do any work thereon which is unseemly.
Yeah.
To do thereon your own pleasure.
Yeah.
And that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk has to be prepared from the day before. And that it is not lawful to draw water or bring in or take out thereon through their gates any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. Everything should be prepared from the 6th day.
Yeah.
And they shall not bring in or take out from house to house. And that day, how serious it is.
You know, something interesting I'm noticing here. This will blow people's mind as well. Do you notice the Malakim is saying, this is what we do here in the Shamaim. They live like that. They have gates. They dwell there. Like Adam was also dwelling there.
Yeah.
Very, very, very clear. As above, so below.
That will be done.
That will be done on earth as a So how we are living here
Has to mirror.
It has to mirror exactly what is being done the day you are living.
Yeah.
So then initially Adam, what man was Adam? Was Adam a physical man? Because Adam was keeping this as well. Before it was made known to any man physically, that is sarx.
Yeah.
So this is very.
Adam was a spiritual man.
This is very serious, man. This is the lion pens of the scribe. We'll kill all of us.
Adam didn't even know that he was naked. Can't be in the flesh and be like that.
Yeah, in the flesh, yeah. 100% sucks, yeah.
All right, verse 31. Oops, sorry.
Wow.
Are we there?
Yeah.
And the creator of all things, verse 31.
Verse 31. So which one was the first one again? The one we just was Jubilees what? Jubilees chapter what?
It's the same one, Jubilees 2.
Jubilees chapter 2. Okay, cool. And the creator of all things baraked it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Shabbat thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink and to keep Shabbat thereon on the earth.
One nation of people. And it's very, very specific. Them alone. Continue.
And the creator of all things baraked this day. Am I right? Is it 32, right?
Yeah.
And the creator of all things baraked this day, which he had created for blessing and making it Kodesh and splendid above all days. This Torah and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a Torah forever unto their generations.
Right. Wow. Was given to the children of Yasharal as a Torah forever unto their generations.
What's that word again? Forever.
Huh?
That word again? Forever.
Forever is not temporary.
Yeah, it's not temporary.
I know many have that concept. It means for a season, but it doesn't mean that. Forever unto their generations. So unless you're telling me the children of Yashara are done here on the earth, then you can tell me Torah is done. So anyone that is preaching the law is done away with, there you go. All right, that's how you bust these people that Christianity is truly false. And so are any other religions, man-made religions around there. Because it says this Torah and testimony was given to the children of Yasharal as a what? As a Torah forever, as a law forever. The laws are what? Forever.
And in Jeremiah 31, I think, he said, as long as there are the ordinances of the sun and the moon, Yasharal shall remain a nation before him forever.
Even in the scattering.
Forever. Nothing has changed and nothing changes.
There are some Christians that celebrate the Shabbat, but they're not allowed to go to this. Only the children of Yasharal.
If they join themselves unto Yasharal.
Yeah.
One law shall be to you, and the stranger that sojourneth among you.
Yeah.
You cannot separate yourself from his people and he's keeping the Shabbat. It's not for you. It's for the people, and you get the opportunity when you join yourselves to them.
You know, the details. Because hence the word says, wisdom is a principal thing, but in all that getting.
Get understanding. Because
how, Musa is more interested about how. You know, the processes involved. So, if Yahweh says, there are two green stones, take this darker green. Yes, there are two green stones. But take the darker one, and you can see the darker one, and place it on top. You can't take the lighter one and place it on top and say, but they are all green.
Yeah.
You have failed. So, how to answer the question is understanding the question. He says you must join yourself to the children of Yasharal. He didn't say take yourself away and start another, and then take the Torah to some corner and go start your own thing. So that's why Christianity will always be false, because Christianity alienates who? The children of Israel. It always separates itself from it.
Yeah.
But I know some Christians that.
Hold on. Yeah, get a mic. Which one of them? No. Oh.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that there's some Christians that go to church on a Sunday, but they also like to try and celebrate the Shabbat on the Saturday. So I don't know what their belief is there, but that it's just totally wasted time.
Confucianist, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a double-minded person.
Yeah.
And the word says they shall not obtain anything from the Most High. That's just rebellion in itself, because the command is for everyone who is not of, it says a stranger, to do what? To sojourn amongst his people. Now, generally, I can understand why it's easier to start a neutral religion and be a part of it, right? Because it takes away the guilt. You know, the guilt from when we say the strangers as well, remember, there are darker races that are also strangers. Not just like that. We always look at one aspect of being a stranger, which is also another form of deception. All right? Now, all the nations know what they've contributed and done to the children of Yasharal. And this is why all of them oftentimes they prefer to not have to see these children or acknowledge that these are the children, because then it brings back guilt.
Yeah.
So the easiest way is to start an independent thing that is independent of them. We painted our own colors, we do. So they start to change the image into their own kind of images. So you speak about the children of Yahshua and you tell them these are the children of Yahshua. They're like, especially the darker, those they call the Hamites, the darker race as well. They look at them like, but they're also dark like us. And they are not special. They're just ordinary people. And they cannot contend or comprehend the idea why Yah says these ones are special and are made peculiar above all people. And that in itself is contention. That's you challenging the word of Elohim. So all those that are not trying to find out who the children of Israel is, or who these people that have been chosen even before the foundations of the earth are, guess what? This is why you cannot obtain understanding, because the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom and a good understanding of all they that keep his commandment. So if you don't do things the way the Most High wants you to do his things, then you are in error already. All right?
Just to address what George was saying, Isaiah 5:20. Let me shift this thing. Isaiah 5:20. Those who keep the Sabbath and also keep the Sunday. Read it, please.
Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yeah, something is wrong when you try to bring it into the column of being right.
Yeah.
Yeah? That is a war before the Most High. Anyway. All right, so we were at the book of Jubilees, Jubilim. Now, we are going to get even more serious with Shabbat keeping. Jubilees 50 tells us some things that we must not do with the Shabbat, or we will die. It's a very, very serious chapter, this book of Jubilees. So brace yourselves for it, people. Go ahead, Shamuel.
Okay. After this Torah made known to you the days of the Shabbat in the desert of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai. And I told you of the Shabbats of the land on Mount Sinai. And I told you of the Jubilee years and the Shabbats of years. But the year thereof have I not told you till you enter the land which you are to possess.
Stop there. This is another thing that we're telling people with the calendar. Just as before we were leaving Egypt, the Most High gave Moses a calendar. So today we are deceived with many different calendars. And we will not know the exact time, the exact calendar until we are ready to enter into the land. So all the people out there who are calling down damnation on people because they just cannot figure out the calendar, then this is in error. You do your best, strive for your best, but do not condemn another person for the time in which they keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it says in those times, I think Second Baruch, it says in those times they'll remember themselves
Yeah.
and they will return back to the loss.
Yeah.
So returning back, they may not know it perfectly,
Yes.
but the dedication and the desire to want to find out, to learn, and to please Yah
Yeah.
is what Yah is looking at.
Yeah.
All right. So that's very essential. Our journey back to obedience is more essential to Yah than someone sitting at the gate there and judging people and saying, "You get out of here. You have the wrong calendar." It's very important. Let's apply wisdom. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse 3.
And the land also shall keep its Shabbats while they dwell upon it, and they shall know the Jubilee year.
So how can they know the Jubilee year? The previous verse. The year thereof have I not told you, till you enter the land when you are to possess. We won't know the Jubilee year until you enter the land.
Until we enter the land.
Yeah. Because the whole purpose is that you're not going to know the Jubilee year because the land must rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go in there now, and remember, it's a righteous remnant that's going to go in. The righteous remnant now, the Most High knows is going to keep the Shabbat, and the land is going to have its Shabbat. So it says, okay, this is the time.
Hey, so there are people at the gate of this land scratching it already. A remnant shall return.
Yes. It's a remnant. And
People, listen. Only a remnant shall return. Don't be matching yourself or looking at what others are doing in order to make a decision on this. Only a remnant shall return. Please go check the dictionary definition of what remnant looks like. Not too many people.
Let me go to the Bible for it. Though the number of its children of Yahshua will be as the sand of the sea. Where's that again?
Not too many people. So if you're listening to people and they are enticing you and are causing you to be in double mind, please, I will not stop singing this because I have love for every one of you, family. Listen to the word of Yah and don't listen to what the people are saying. Those that are confused and don't know what they are about are saying. For though thy people Yeshua be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
Remnant. Though the number of the children of Yahshua will be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall return. Remnant there means, let me get it here on here. It comes from the Hebrew she'ar, which means a remainder, residue, rest. That means a fraction,
Residue.
a small fraction. Residue is that remains from the whole. Okay?
Wow.
You're looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at residue. That's the definition of residue.
So that's a remainder shall return. It's not going to be a whole lot of people returning because
The consumption that has been decreed.
verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. It's a small amount of people who are going to make it. Anyway,
Which goes to what Ezra says. I mean, in second Ezra, yeah. You know, very important. So if you're marching up and weighing the word of Yah by the feelings of the people around you, guess what? You might end up being a victim as well. You may not be able to obey. All right. So it says, yeah, only a remnant shall return. Do you find it? Second Ezra
9:16.
9:16, yeah.
Verse 15.
I've said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop.
Like as a wave is greater than a drop. This is how we compare. So the way we have to strive for the mark of the high calling.
Yeah.
It's like a race. It's like a competition. It's like a reality show where you might have one winner or two winners or three winners.
Yeah.
That's all we have to push.
Yeah.
Non-stop. We see people in reality shows when they are given opportunities in this world.
Yeah.
How much they give of themselves and how much they dedicate and cry and everything to win that prize.
That prize, yeah.
And we think we can just easily sit back and just automatically waltz our way into the kingdom. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
Like as a wave is greater than a drop, that is the difference between who will perish. The wave will perish and only a drop will be saved. Go ahead.
I mean, we know athletes train all year round, isn't it? To run a race of what? Highest 1 hour.
Yeah.
If you run a 100-meter race, that's like 9 seconds. You train 1 year, 365 days a year for 9 seconds.
6 seconds.
I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening here. This is why Yahusha says that only those who endure to the end shall be saved. So the bars will be picking up those who are what? Those who have endured. And no wonder many of us feel like, man, the word is so difficult. It's so hard to do. Man, everywhere I turn is like, it's just so much. It's just restrictions. It's just this. No, it's just building. It's the discipline. When you haven't had a certain nature for a while and you want to cultivate it, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort in order to build discipline. All right. That's why they say sportsmen build discipline. Discipline for the sport. And it's the very same thing. If you give yourself so much leeway, you end up not being perfected or made ready for that which is about to happen. So this is very important. And hence I personally would always put the word out there to say, please, as much as Yah is merciful, you are hearing what Ezra is saying here. It says, I've said before, and now do speak. And we'll speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish. All right? There is more people. If anyone is telling you otherwise, they're lying to you. The fact that there are more people that perish means that we ought to be what? We ought to be cautious. We ought to be taking caution. And caution against what? Against the fact that we have to be guarding the word of Yah. In that as a believer, when you hear the word, you don't sit there and then, because the more you keep hearing the word, the time comes when you build what? The human nature? Familiarity. It just becomes a nagging sound. Every sound, numb, exactly. And then when you hear someone speak it, guess what? Now you start taking offense. Because what? Because the word is now dead in you. You have built enmity with the word. And this is what happens. That's what I'm saying. You must be very careful of this, because we all have that nature, and we stand that same thing as well. Same chance of falling, letting the word fall on deaf ears. All right. So the more you are hearing it, if you don't take time, you will end up getting familiar, and familiar means that the word loses its potency. And when it loses its potency, guess what? Your ability to honor it, to cherish it, to obey it, becomes actually slim. In other words, now you are headed to perish. And that's what Ezra is saying here, and he's not hiding it. Many people perish because that road is wide gates, wide paths. All right? Everyone is welcome on that path. So please, family, just take caution, take heed. Let the word be everything to you. Shalom.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I am determined There's a song that I am determined to do it again, to make it. Nice song. But I'm determined. And
I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to see Yahuwah someday. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, 'cause I want to see Yahuwah someday. And then this part is where I laugh. Goodbye, world. All right. I'm staying no longer with you. Goodbye, pleasures of sin. I'm staying no longer with you. I made up my mind to go that way for the rest of my life. I made up my mind to go that way for the rest of my life.
yeah. Back to the book of Joshua. Let's go and take our punishment, people. Because this one is not nice at all. Chapter 50.
Jubilees.
Huh?
You said Josh and Jubilees.
Jubilees. I'm always mixing them up. All right. Where were we?
4, I think.
Yeah, 4.
All right. Wherefore I have ordained for you the year weeks, the year weeks, and the years and the jubilees. There are 49 jubilees from the days of Adam until this day. All right. And 1 week and 2 years, and there are yet 40 years to come for learning the commandments of Yahuwah until they pass over into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west.
All right, verse 5.
And the Jubilee shall pass by until Yisrael is cleansed from all guilt of fornication and uncleanness. Please, somebody mark this scripture for me. All right. It's very important.
Jubilees 50, verse 5.
All right. And the Jubilees shall pass by until Israel is cleansed from all guilt of fornication and uncleanness and pollution and sin and error, and dwells with confidence in all the land. And there shall be no more Satan or any evil one. Okay, let me use that word. And there shall be no more a Satan or any evil one. And the land shall be clean from that time forevermore.
It is 1,000-year reign.
Yeah. And behold, the commandment regarding the Shabbats, I have written them down for you, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days shall you labor, but on the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah, your sovereign ruler. In it you shall do no manner of work, and you and your sons, and your manservants and your maidservants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner also who is with you.
Here we go. Prepare yourselves, people.
And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whoever desecrates that day, whoever lies with his wife, or whoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling. And whoever draws water thereon, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house, shall die.
Oh boy.
You shall do no work whatever on the Shabbat day, save what you have prepared for yourself on the 6th day, so as to eat and drink and rest, and keep Shabbat from all work on that day, and to bless Yahuwah your sovereign ruler, who has given you a day of festival and a Kodesh day. And a day of the Kodesh kingdom for all Israel is this day among their days forever. You know, and something interesting I'm noticing here. If you see, that's understanding, man. I thank Yahuwah for this. When Yahuwah says he's merciful, he's merciful. You know, many say that when someone comes to knock on your door and is hungry, and you can cook for them, but that's error. You can't.
Well, on the Sabbath?
On the Sabbath, yes.
Oh.
You can't. because we hide it in the guise of it's a day of Yahuwah to do good. But listen to the instruction here. Yahuwah is saying, the meal you have prepared. So if you are obedient on the Shabbat, if someone was hungry, you would have had food in your house to feed.
Give them from the food that you have prepared from the day before.
And that's the understanding I'm just receiving now.
Yeah.
So the instruction is to prepare the meal on the day of preparation. Enough. It's a feast.
Yes.
So that on the Shabbat, when someone comes to knock, you don't say it's Shabbat, I don't give food. No. Because it's a day of feasting of Yahuwah. So all should be invited. All are what? Invited.
Yeah.
So they cannot be lack. So us thinking that, oh, if someone comes to knock, I can set fire and start cooking because Yahuwah says I cannot return people when they come and ask for food, though I have it. You see, that's also error. So the understanding of this is so important. Wow.
I never heard that one before, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's right. Because he says, you shall do no work whatever on the Shabbat day.
Yes.
So if you shall do no work, then how do you end up feeding somebody who's hungry? If you have a grain of rice in your house that's not cooked, and they knocking, instinctively you say, no, Yahuwah says that you should be able to feed people. So guess what? Please light the fire, let's cook.
No.
You are as dead as it comes.
Yep.
Because the instruction is here. On the Shabbat day, save what you have prepared for yourselves on the 6th day.
And that is what a lot of us are messing around with.
Yeah.
Preparing drinks, etc. on the 7th day.
Yeah.
The drink must be prepared from the day before.
From the day before. From the day before.
All it is take up and eat.
That's it.
And drink.
It's set up on the table.
Yeah.
You just sit on the table and you what? You feast.
Yes.
And then from there you go back to rest.
Yeah.
Until sunset, and then you go back to what? To washing, cleaning, whatever you want to do to clean up the place before you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's merciful. We all give praise to Yahuwah, isn't it? This is why he's showing us this.
Yada Yahuwah. 10.
All right. For great is the honor which Yahuwah has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before Yahuwah for days and for Shabbats.
So we see it is a great honor. That is why when we reject it, the Most High is so hard. Because we have been given such a great honor and we trod on the honor that you have been given. There is no, Most High says, you shall die. So burning frankincense, bringing oblations and sacrifices before Yahuwah for days and for Shabbat, that alone should be done. Verse 11.
This work alone shall be done on the Shabbat days in the sanctuary of Yahuwah your sovereign ruler, that they may atone for Israel with sacrifice continually from day to day for a memorial well-pleasing before Yahuwah, and that he may receive them always from day to day according as you have been commanded. And every man who does any work thereon, or goes on a journey, or tills his farm, whether in his house or any other place, and whoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, and whoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughters a beast or a bird, or whoever catches an animal or a bird or a fish, or whoever fasts or makes war on the Shabbats.
Continue.
The man who does any of these things on the Shabbat shall die.
Wow.
So that the children of Israel shall observe the Shabbat according to
the commandments.
Scroll up. According to the commandments.
Oh, it can't go up any further. It's the last. According to the commandments regarding the Shabbats of the land, as it is written in the tablets which he gave into my hands, that I should write out for you the laws of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days. Herewith is completed the account of the division of days. So let's go back to verse 12. And every man who does any work thereon, or goes a journey, there should be no traveling on the Shabbat. no journeying on the Shabbat. And the only traveling is short walks, like if someone is going to a place of assembly. Or tills his farm. Well, that is outright work. That one is obvious.
Yeah.
Whether in his house or any other place. So if you have, for example, some indoor pots, or you have on the balcony, you have some plants, you can't touch those either.
Yeah.
Or rides on any beast. No, and whoever lights a fire. Yeah.
And whoever strikes or kills anything, you know, my mind went on a mosquito.
Yeah, we don't reach to that yet. Whoever lights a fire or rides on any beast. Well, this is what is very important, because the beast, the equivalent of a beast now, is a vehicle. So if you ride in any vehicle, then it's a problem. Or travels by ship on the sea.
Yeah.
So if you are on a cruise and the cruise comes on a Shabbat, that's a problem.
Big one.
Yeah?
Big one.
It's pleasure anyway. You're doing your own pleasure, right?
Yeah, cruise, yeah, definitely. That's the only reason why you'll be on the sea. Unless you're going fishing, that's working.
Yeah. And whoever strikes or kills anything. So when the mosquito bites you, I've been doing this for years. When the mosquito bites me on the Shabbat, I shake him off. See, you wait until the Sabbath is over.
I will pray to you.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
Because you have a trigger instinct in you. And you're there on the Sabbath and you're bam, and you're like, ooh.
I just killed it. Man, look at the detail.
Yeah. And the reason you don't kill on the Sabbath is because Sabbath is celebrating creation. So how can you be killing on the day you're celebrating creation?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or slaughters a beast or a bird. Well, that one is easy. Yes. You wouldn't want to kill a beast or a bird on a Sabbath. Or whoever catches an animal or a bird or a fish. That one is easy. Or whoever fasts. That one, no. Some people ask, and this one is always there with me as well.
Yahusha.
Don't have the answer. How do you fast for 14 days?
Yahusha. How did Yahusha fast?
How did Yahusha fast for 40 days and 40 nights? Anyone has the answer? Could you give us the answer, please? Because I don't know this one. How can you fast?
Maybe the 40 days and 40 nights was 45 days.
Where what?
This is the Shabbat, yeah. So 45. Okay. So what, they did an extra 5 to cover?
I don't know. That's a little good.
Or it could be that, yeah, it could be that he probably broke it. Because remember, I always match it according to what Esdras and some of the prophets did. They were eating leaves, flowers.
Yeah.
So could it be that Yahusha took a break from sunrise all the way to sunset, eating the leaves and whatever there is?
Possible.
Salad. How are you gonna in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Ezra did it, and he showed it was possible to live on flowers.
Yeah.
So it could be that he did that, because I doubt Yahusha will break Torah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whoever fasts or makes war on the Shabbat. The man who does any of these things on the Shabbat shall die. So, Shabbat is so serious. And as we see there, we see how serious it is. And the Bible, of course, we're going to conclude with a passage where the Bible shows us some exclusions. Because some people look at this and say, oh, that is Old Testament. But we have to understand what Yahusha gave us in the New Testament. Matthew 12, 1 to 14. This is how we're going to finish it. We're going to look at the different aspects that were excluded when Yahusha was declared himself the master of the Shabbat. Matthew 12 from verse 1, please.
At that time, Yahusha went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were unhungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
All right. So here we have a situation now. Going through the corn and eating because they were hungry. Yeah? Now the Pharisees know. They know nothing about mercy.
Yeah,
All they know about,
butchering.
is holding people to the letter of the law. So there's nothing in the Torah that says when you're hungry, you cannot eat on the Shabbat. All right? And when you're going through the corn, you're not putting the sickle to the corn.
Good.
You're just plucking it off,
Yeah.
which is not work, actually.
But also, it is stipulated in Torah
Yeah.
on how to take of your neighbor's farm.
Yeah.
So you can break off a corn one by one, but not all the corn on one stem, on one. So there,
So, you do it to eat.
well, I guess the intention, even if the intention is not, Torah says that you make sure you don't break the whole stem off. You break what you need to eat, and then you. But now the big question here, there's a big question here now, because no one eats raw corn. So what corn? How did they prepare the corn?
They ate it raw. You never seen people eat raw corn?
Corn on the corn.
What, sweet corn?
Raw corn. Ask Amikai. Amikai is right here. Amikai used to eat it and I used to be like, no, Amikai. And I tried it and I said, kind of. But it just doesn't taste.
Yeah.
Amikai loves it. Amikai picks the corn and eats it.
Amika, where you at?
Where is he? You there?
Oh, okay. But Atara is still there.
Atara, where's Amikai?
Well, because I can eat wakan too.
Yeah, because I've tried. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, wakan sweet.
Unless, okay, so you know maybe where my mind is. My mind is probably on dry corn. You know when we pluck them, we dry them in the sun.
Oh,
My mind is there. Maybe in between the early seasons, because it's still soft and has this milky, could be.
Yeah,
it's a soft one that they just take it out.
Yeah, the soft one, then you just, yeah.
as you pick it, you eat it.
This is specifically talking about corn or just fruit on the tree?
That's another.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
That's a good one
That's a good one.
because
Told me all around South Africa there used to be fruit trees where the poor people could just eat off them.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very important. You're smart. All right, because the word corn here in scripture is actually the word grain. Because corn originated, this is one of the things that the people over there in America are using to say that the Americas is the land.
Yeah.
Because corn originated in America. So they are saying that because it says corn, it is referring to America. But the word here for corn, let's look at it, is actually grain.
Okay.
Acts 12. Let me get it. It's sporemos from sown, that is neuter, a planted field, corn field. That is
They chose.
when you find it in should I look for it?
They chose corn. All right.
If it is grain,
Sown.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
Because nuts are also
also even the nuts, you can
nuts you can take from the ground, open it and then chew it.
the word for corn here, it's actually grain. I'll look in the let me go into the Blue Letter Bible.
Soon, that is neuter plural. So
See.
neuter plural means that it could be anything. It could be many.
Yeah. It is grain. I researched it before. Let me see. CORN.
A planted field. Yeah, could be corn. Could be corn.
I'm trying to find it.
Because corn was a staple food, remember?
But still, corn originated in the Americas. It didn't come to Africa until very late. Where are we again? Matthew 12, right?
It calls
Late when?
grain.
Huh?
Late when? When did they say late when? Can we find
I think
the date?
18th century or something like
I
that.
don't think it's a lie.
That's what they said.
There are some ancient tribes that have had this thing. It doesn't come from that.
Yeah, standing grain.
As long as you don't put a sickle to it.
Yeah. So another word for it is standing grain. That's which version is it?
That's the
ESV.
ESV.
PSV says standing grain. Fit for sowing sown fields. Sowing crops, growing crops. A planted field, sown cornfield. Anyway, let's go back to the topic.
It's all the time.
Yeah.
All right. But when the Pharisees saw it, verse 2,
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
continue.
But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of Alua, and did eat the shewbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priest.
Now, the account of David there is when he went into the house, and the priest said he only had showbread, and he could eat it if he had not come to a woman in 3 days. And they had not come to a woman in 3 days, so they were able to eat it. So David, even though it was not lawful for him to eat, he was still there. The mercy of the Most High provided a way for him to eat it, and so he could eat. So David did not actually break the law. Verse 5.
Or have ye not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
So the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath by doing the work of the Sabbath day, by preparing the sacrifices, etc. So even though the law provided for it, but the Messiah was saying that there was provision for this to take place. So they are blameless. But verse 6 says,
But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is master even of the Sabbath day.
all right, so it's mercy that is most important. And he's saying that you would not condemn the guiltless. That means he was guiltless for doing what he did. So one aspect there of the Shabbat is mercy. No law was broken here. It's just the Pharisees going according to their traditions, adding to the law to try to convict people by adding to the law. So verse 9 here now deals with healing on the Sabbath. There is no law that says you cannot heal on the Sabbath. It was the Pharisees again adding their traditions to the law. Go ahead. Yeah.
No. I guess from what the ancestors suffered, it built so much fear in them that they had to create a tradition, what we call a taboo. They created a taboo around the Sabbath. And literally the whole law, they had to create a taboo.
To protect themselves.
But the only hypocritical thing about it is that they themselves weren't following that taboo. So they would not lift a finger, but they were happy to use the law to acquit people all the time,
Yes.
which was what made it an issue.
Yes.
Because if they said they themselves feared that taboo they had made concerning the Torah, then it would have made sense. Hence, generally Christians believe, right? And believe that the Pharisees were keeping the law of Moses, but they weren't.
They weren't.
They weren't.
They added to it their traditions.
And they use it for the sake of beating down people.
Yes. And hence that's why you have judge not that you be judged. And it speaks about us judging and doing the same thing.
Yeah. Then that's hypocrisy, yeah.
That's hypocrisy. So you are only not to judge when you are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. That's
9.
And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, and behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? If it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days.
So that do well there, sheep falling a pit, you take him out. That is mercy. Right?
Yeah.
That is mercy over sacrifice. Verse 13.
Then saith he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand, and stretched it, and he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole, like as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him.
Nothing unlawful here. Healing on the Sabbath. That is mercy again. There's nothing against this in the Torah. So a lot of people like to believe that, the Messiah came and he showed us that the Sabbath was not important. No. Mashiach did everything that was lawful. He was guiltless. All right? So healing on the Shabbat, mercy for food on the Shabbat, and your animal being caught in a pit, etc. Those things that are absolutely essential for life saving, then the mercy of the Most High will come in. Okay? So that's what we're looking at about the Shabbat. We didn't even go into when the Shabbat begins because we have an article on that on justtheword.org. When does the Sabbath begin? To show you when to start it. We just wanted to show some things, some taboos about the Shabbat and the things that we need to do to keep it kadosh, to keep it set apart. All right?
Yeah.
We have had so many videos, and we did not do a specific video on the 7th day Shabbat, but I guess this is the opportune time for us as we strive to continue to push forward in holiness and in true righteousness. And the Most High is sanctifying us with his words. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to say, Shamu?
Yeah, this Yahweh's metaphor, that's all I can say. All right. We keep saying that right now in these times is all about preparation. So in other words, everything that we once thought was right, Yahweh is gonna what? If it's wrong, he's gonna reveal it. And hopefully we have the heart to do what? To receive it and to respond to it. So we have not known many of these things. I personally, all right, there's nothing to be shy about it. And we need to correct all of these things because Yah wants his people perfected. For without perfection, no man can do what? No man can see Alua. So please, in meekness, with a contrite and a broken spirit and heart, receive this word and act upon it. It is because of love, that's why Yah has brought it. His mercy is unfailing. And this is another act of mercy from Yahuwah again in bringing clarity and understanding to his word. All right? Shalom.
Shalom. Are there any questions from YT YouTube?
Let me see if I can find them.
Are there any questions?
So, someone asking, would they be wrong in waking up early around 3 a.m. and preparing meals all the way to 5?
I wouldn't do that. It says that you have prepared on the 6th day. So you'd have to prepare it from the day before.
Okay, yeah, then that makes
And so that is why we in Jamaica, Brother Mahar and I, were making a concerted effort to say, let us finish before the evening on the 6th.
day.
Because the 6th day would have been finished in the evening.
So the
Not
evening is
even
for,
let it go
is
into
for
the
resting.
night.
Which goes back to exactly what Yah says to Adam. I've made the night for you and your sons to sleep, to rest.
Yes.
So not on the not on the Friday evening. It says day. So day is when there is light. All right.
Yeah.
When there is light, 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. You have all that bright day to prepare. All right. And the reason why I believe He has taken us back into the wilderness is because of some of these things so that we can come back to the understanding of why He has made day and night. These are all part of His wisdom. Because in the wilderness, you're not dependent on the Babylonian system of providing floodlights and all these lights at night. So when it's night, you would understand why night is specifically for rest and why day is specifically for working. All right. That is Yah's wisdom. So if you're there fighting again, why you have to flee, look at what you're about to miss out on. The understanding of why He made things for the right reason. All right. Yahuwah is merciful, please. That's all I'm going to say. Yahuwah is merciful. You don't know mercy until you meet Yahuwah.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to run through to see if there are any questions.
Thank you. Do any of you guys eat cold food on Shabbat, like sandwiches and salads and veggie trays? Or do you heat up foods right before Shabbat and then eat them warm? I need new ideas.
Eating up foods. You don't eat up foods on the Shabbat. Says what you have prepared from the 6th day. Eating up food is part of preparation. Okay, people?
Yeah.
I think there's a miracle takes place there because it's only that 6-day preparation that the food will not rot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
Because most people wouldn't eat food left out from the night before, but it's a command.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's still edible. And don't forget, even in the microwave, nothing to do with heating food. Nothing. Abstain. Like, this is how Babylon confuses us. Comes up with all these microwaves and what and all these, so you don't really see the error. All right. Building up these desolate places into cities is to hide you from realizing that the words of Yah are actually true. All right. This is very important. So abstain from every form of heating food. It's okay to avoid it. You don't want to take chances and then come before the Most High and realize, oh man, I've made a mess.
We've all done it, and I think the more we learn the truth, we don't. Yeah, we've all done it in the build up to preparing for the Shabbat, and we've all sat on the Shabbat and we've used the microwave, we've used the kettle to heat the water up for hot drinks. But I think wisdom allows us to learn each teaching that we need to get more and more perfected. So we just need to go back to what the scripture is saying. We don't need to prepare anything on the Shabbat. No electricity for heating water, for cooking food, no microwave for cheating. And I think the food is not going to kill us with it being prepared on the 6th day to eat on the Shabbat cold. I think it's blessed that we walk in obedience.
And when it's cold, don't eat it like you are being punished. It's supposed to be a feast. You know what a feast is? Sit like a king and eat that food, right? Hot or cold, we eat it. And we thank Yah for that provision. That's the most important. Everything you do, Shaul says, you must do what? With a cheerful heart. All right? We do everything with gladness. Even if we have to go sleep in the wilderness on the floor, we still do it with what? With gladness. Anything for Yahuwah. Don't you understand that? Anything for Yahuwah. That includes giving up our lives. So what is eating cold food? Yeah.
If the Pharisees were there watching us, they'd be pointing the finger at the microwave people. They'd be pointing the finger at the kettle going on, and they'd be trying to give them. I'd just like to go back. I had a question, not a question, but an observation on Matthew 12:13.
What does it say?
Because they were wanting to. Then said he to the man, stretch forth thine hand. 4 words. And he stretched it forth, and he was restored whole like the other hand. He healed on the Sabbath. He didn't lift a hand or a foot. He just spoke the word.
Yeah.
And the Pharisees were that hypocritical that they were trying to condemn the word of the Most High. The word that created life, the word that created them, breath in them.
Yeah.
And Yahusha didn't lift a finger. He just spoke the word.
Yeah.
We live by every word.
And it didn't work. Let's just say when I speak, my mouth is working then.
And they wanted a way to make the word look like it was working and breaking the laws of the Sabbath. That's crazy.
That's beyond rebellion. That's beyond wickedness. They were darkened in their understanding. They were really that dark. Someone is also asking, is it right to fast? No, you can't fast. What about feasting can we not understand? You see, the instruction, remember how to pass the exams is what? Understanding the question or understanding what you've been instructed to do. And what have we been instructed to do? Most I say is feast. Not choose small little food. You know what a feast look like? All right, people you can just take your dictionaries and just Google these words. What does a feast look like? It says feast on that day. The Shabbat is a day of rest. Feasting, that means glad tidings, celebrating Yah for splendor, for creation, for everything he has given. So you can't go mediocre. You see, that's what you have to get mediocre out of your mind. Go beyond yourself on that day. Have a good time, because that's you celebrating the Most High.
Fill your plate and have
Fill your plate. Fill your plate and have. It's not a day for fasting. There is an appointed day for what? For fast. That's why if we keep all the feasts, you realize there's a time when the atonement comes, and then we do what? We fast, even to even.
Yeah.
That's a place you can go and have all the fast you want to have. And then on the personalized days when you choose, except the Sabbath, when you do what? When you decide to set yourself apart and fast for the Most High. But on the day that he's instructed you, that means you cannot be clueless. Instruction means what? Clarity. What to do on that specific day. And it says feast. So what do? You come with a smile, get your hand. I don't want to say if you don't have a hand, but if you don't have a fork and knife, you use your hands. Wash your hands and dive into the food. All right? Which is the instruction that we are given. I hope that answers you. Kumash.
I was saying, people need to also understand that.
He's on?
Kumash, you can speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying people need to understand. Cooking food the day before and leaving it out. Food ain't gonna spoil. Salt is a preservation. If you fry food, if you bake food, it's not gonna spoil. Shabbat is only 12 hours, 14 hours. It's only a short time. Your food ain't gonna spoil. You bake it, or you do what you got to do. You leave it out. People need to also understand. Using thermos and coolers and those kind of things that would keep heat. People only use coolers for ice and drinks. But you could also use coolers to keep things warm for hours. These are things you could use. People talking about I saw someone commented about what about baby feeding. If you had some water the night before and put it in a thermos, in a flask, and you just come out and you just I know that's preparation too. So I'm gonna touch that. But what I'm saying is that if you cook the night before, the food is not gonna spoil. And once you cook the right food, not this processed foods, you cook the right amount of food. You cook a big turkey and leave it out and enjoy yourself. Shalom.
Shalom.
We are white brats. I see some comments in here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's like for the 12 hours, we just have to continue doing what we have always been doing. People, they say, this one saying that there are some brothers who are teaching that it's okay to warm up water for coffee on the Shabbat. So because I'm addicted to coffee, I need my coffee. It is okay to warm up water for coffee. Why? What about I beseech you, therefore, brethren, you
Right,
present your
this is-
bodies a living sacrifice,
Yeah,
kadosh and acceptable unto Allah, which is your reasonable service.
yeah.
Yeah, why we are really spoiled people.
That's addictions of Babylon, right?
Yeah,
And we don't want to wean them off. Now, if you've been following the teachings and the many teachings that we've done on the Shabbat, you should have noticed denying self. If you have denied self, trust you me, this shouldn't be a hard thing for you to do with it. Unless, of course, you don't have you don't have food at home. If you don't have food at home, then that's a totally different story, isn't it? Yeah. That's a totally different story.
yeah, the microwave is a no-no. That is a no-no.
Exodus 12 verse 16. What is this? Can you open that for me?
That's why you gotta
Yeah, Babylon. It taught us to be restless people, eh? It does not stop. And in the first day, there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day, there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. This is speaking about what?
This is speaking about the feast of unleavened bread, I think.
Okay.
The feast of unleavened bread. The high Sabbaths are different from the
Normal.
the weekly Sabbath. It is the weekly Sabbath that is we are speaking about today. We are not speaking about the high Sabbaths. So for the high Sabbaths, you can prepare meals on the high Sabbaths, the annual Sabbaths. That means they come once a year. And the Most High here is telling you that you can prepare food to eat on that Sabbath. But the seventh-day Sabbath, no preparation, because it is holy above all other days. Above every other day. What else? Let me see if there are any other.
The issue with Yahusha, I think we answered it. Just replay this video again when we are done. You should find it. We were actually putting that out there, and the issue of Yahusha's 40 days, 40 nights, whether he fasted still on the Shabbat and all
Okay.
that. But we certainly know that Yahusha didn't fast on the Shabbat. All right, that is without even discussion. Why? Because Yahusha walked in the ways that please his Father, which is the way of Torah. All right. So what we need to now find out is how he did it during the Shabbat. And I was comparing like similitudes between Esdras, the other prophets, and what they did when they were fasting. That some of them ate flowers, all right, herbs, leaves, and that can sustain you. It's a feast. There are people that live only on herbs. They don't eat any other thing. So Yahusha definitely must have done something special in the wilderness when he was there during the Shabbat to observe it. All right, Yahusha wasn't a lawbreaker. So that part, we know for sure Yahusha didn't go against Yah's word.
You'll find out until you go into the wilderness, won't you?
So join us in the wilderness. Let's find out how Yahusha did it.
So, didn't it say in the second chapter of Jubilees that the wilderness Shabbat is not being, the date of that has not been revealed yet until we actually.
No, go into the land, not the wilderness. Into the land itself. That will be after the wilderness. So there's a question, can a hot flask of water be prepared the night before to make tea? Of course. That was prepared from the night before. So it's not the temperature of it that is important, it's whether or not you prepared it from the night before.
Yeah. Yeah. And another important thing to take note, the Most High will not bless anything his word forbids. All right? Always put that in mind. The Most High will not do what? Will not bless what his word forbids.
Oh, I get what she's trying to say.
Yeah.
Before to make tea. Okay, I'm getting what you're saying now, my sultry sounds. Can a hot flask of water be prepared the night before to make tea? No. You make the tea, put the tea in the thermos, and then you pour out the tea. You should not be making tea on the Shabbat. You should have made it from the day before. I get you now. Go ahead, Shamuel.
Yes. So Yah will not bless what his word forbids. All right, that will be contradiction. That will be conflict of interest. So whatever Yahusha did, best you believe was in alignment to what has been declared before the foundations of the earth, which was made known to Moshe as well in this book of Jubilees. All right, so if you read something there that is stipulated as don't do, please don't go flirting with it. And if you don't have understanding, I don't think you should go and do it or go try it out. You need to understand everything you do has to be done with what? With understanding.
All right, so somebody said Dawood bin Yasharal, Israel, an idea regarding hot tea or coffee. I have a water dispenser that has both hot and cold dispensers. I just use the hot side to make coffee or tea. But that is a no-no.
That's making fire again.
That is making fire. That is preparing it on the Shabbat. The dispenser is preparing it for you on the Shabbat. It says, save that which you have prepared from the sixth day. The whole idea is everything is prepared from the sixth day. All right. What the other question now? Somebody's asking if the high day Sabbaths will never fall on a 7th-day Sabbath. No, the high day Sabbath, the only high day Sabbath that falls on a 7th-day Sabbath is the Day of Atonement. A Sabbath from even to even, which we celebrated between the 9th and the 10th of this month. All right? So the rest of them will not fall on a 7th-day Sabbath. No hot water dispenser, my sultry sounds. That is cheating. It should have been prepared from the 6th day. All right? All right. So, that's it. Anyone has anything to say, to contribute?
I have a question. How do you prepare foods for baby or the Sabbath?
No, sorry, you can't speak on the fellowship, all right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. All right.
All right. Hopefully, we should be meeting on the 3rd day on Tuesday. So you can write down your questions and then we can ask them then. All right. Okay. So I guess that's it. We started 1 hour earlier so that we could get in before the current leaves us. It's scheduled to leave us soon, so we have succeeded in what we have done. So we are happy to have been able to present this to you today. All right. Have some videos that should be coming out in the week. I think I have a couple of videos showing more confirmations of the dreams and the revelations that have been given to us. You can look out for them during the week. And yeah, I think I have another video as well that we did on the last great day of the feast. And that one is also due to come out. So we have some more videos coming out this week. Okay. So, Shaman, anything to say before we go?
Nope.
All right. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being with us. So we had 56 people on. That's a good number. Considering what has been happening for the past few weeks. So thank you all for watching. And this is Kazakh Eliyahu Yasharal on behalf of our family here. Just want to say shalom to you all. Say hi, George. Say hi, Ephraim. And there we have Zalali on the top right in black. And we have Shamuel in the middle in white. And we have Mayo in the middle. And it's getting so dark. And there we have, hey, who's that? Who's that? Natalie, it seems. Yeah. And it's getting fuzzy. Oh, yes. And we have Jane there, who cannot stop working. And we have Sister Lois. All right.
Tum, 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 tum.
All right. So,
And then we have Tiona.
you have who?
Tiona, those on Zoom. Just put your camera down
On Zoom?
on the screen. Yeah. Let's see who are those on the screen. There we go. That's Tiona.
Let me start from the left. Yazal. And Anava. We have Jamal. Oh, George. Yeah. And we have Solali. And we have Dwayne. Dwayne, where are you? And we have Ziona. And what else is there? We have Ephraim. Oh, Ephraim.
Plenty of me.
Yeah. Then we have Nikita. Atara is missing in action.
And Amikai.
And Amakai missing in action. Who is this iPhone 13 Pro? I don't know. And who is
Naomi. Yeah, who's Naomi?
And we have Narika.
Oh,
There is Naomi.
oh, and that's iPhone 13. There we go.
iPhone 13, that's Fadi. And we have Narika on her iPhone going on with things. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, and we have, who else? Oh, Shamuel, as you can see over there. All right. So, yeah. Shalom, everyone. Thank you all for watching. And as I said, we have some videos coming out during the week. We just want to say shalom. Thank you all. And may Yahuwah barak you. And share, subscribe, comment, like our videos, please, as we continue to strive to do the will of the Most High. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.